Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to my Gig-Olos and Gigolettes. It's me, Gio. Y'all know who the fuck it is. I look like shit. Hair's all fucked up. Beard's all fucked up. I'm getting grayer and grayer and grayer and grayer. Isn't getting old fun? All right, so I mentioned my video yesterday that I'm trying to get to 120 hours for this month. I'll be happy with like 110, I will. But today has been a surprisingly busy day. My first job was at 8 a.m. Moving a treadmill, which was so far the lightest treadmill I've ever had to move. And then we finished it up, and she's like, well, I got you guys for the hour, right? And then we're both like, yeah. And she's like, can you guys help me assemble it? The other tasker's like, no. And I was like, sure, I can help you, but I have another job at 9:30, so I gotta leave by like 1:10. So helped her assemble it. I kind of fucked it up. Not the best at assembling treadmills, FYI, right? But stayed till 1:15, did that. Drove to my second task, which was at 9:30. Got there at 9:35. First, nice house, really nice house. So he wanted us to move a 7.5 foot long couch into a basement from the first floor, and then move a desk where the couch was. But first we had to remove a sleeper sofa from the basement to the curb. And then if any of you guys are aware of this, sleeper sofas are heavy. They're not light. And I'm like, and he said in his note, he's like, I'm just really worried about the walls. I don't want to fuck up the walls and all this stuff. So I'm like, okay. So I'm telling the helper, who's, getting paid in cash, one of my buddies, I said, let's remove the sleeper sofa to lower the risk of like trying to muscle it and scuffing up walls. So that took like 45 minutes to an hour, because this sleeper sofa, he said, came with the house when he bought it. So that means when something comes with the house, that means it was a very difficult job to move, right? That's usually how it works. So we removed the sleeper sofa. All the screws were stripped. So I literally used screws that did not line up with the types of, or like bits for screwdrivers that didn't line up with the screws. Got it off. The last three we had to pry off with a hammer. Then we did that. So we moved the sleeper sofa, got to the curb. The couch, even without the sleeping sofa in it, was still a challenge. Got to the curb. And then came the tricky part. Trying to move a 7.5 foot long couch, all one piece, through the house, through the hallways, into this basement with very, very narrow little like staircase. We got it to the door of the staircase leading to the basement, and we couldn't even stand it up to move it because the hallway was that tight. And then we couldn't stand it up to shift it around because there was light fixtures. And during all this, me, this one I'll take the blame for, started, like, as we were moving it, it chipped like a little bit of the paint on the corner of the hall. And we told him about it. He's like, yeah, it happens. He's like, is there any way we could do this like this? And I told him, I was like, honestly, I don't want to, like, we measured everything right in front of him, and I'm like, this unit, even if we carried it down at an angle, if we tilted it and flipped it and all this stuff, it takes up more space than the staircase going into the basement. He's like, well, he's like, you can try this, and I like measured it right in front of him. I'm like, it's just not gonna happen. It's just too big. And I told him, if it wasn't as long, we could probably do it. But getting it into the hallway to carry it straight into that little staircase to go in the basement, it just wasn't gonna happen. So he tells us, okay, Just take it outside. I think I'm gonna give it away or sell it or something. So we took it out of the house, which still was not easy. This was a very heavy, 7.5 foot long couch. We got out there, and then he's like, well, since you fucked up the corner of that wall, he's like, do you mind repainting it? And I said, yeah, if you got the paint, I'll repaint it, no problem. I would do it. At this point, I'm just trying to salvage my rating, because I'm like, there's no way I'm getting a 5-star for this job. I already know. Then he says, okay, well, and as we take the couch outside, he's like, the trash company already came. I don't want that couch sitting on the curb that you threw out. So is there any way you guys can, if you guys take it and throw it away, I'll fix the wall. And I said, that's fine. So then we went to work to we started breaking down the couch roughly, kicking it apart and all that stuff. Loaded up into my car, into Kevin's car, and then he told us, he's like, on second thought, could you move that couch into the garage? So we did. We apologized for scuffing the walls, and then he sent us on our merry. He gave my helper the cash that he needed to. Then we went to a local Jewel-Osco and we threw the trash out, right? And then my helper was like, he's gonna give you a 5-star, and I'm like, no, he's not. No, he's not. I'm not getting a 5-star for this one. But then after I completed my third job of the day, which took me 45 minutes to get to from that second job, I got a review, and it was 4 star. Like, I saw 4 stars, I was like, you know what? I accepted the 1 star. When we were breaking down the couch, and I'm like, if he 1 stars me, this will be my first 1 star, And then he left a 4-star with a review. I arrived punctually, was nice and helpful. I would consider him a freelance mover, as he had trouble moving a couch in the basement. For heavy lifts that aren't straightforward, I would recommend a more expensive professional moving company. That's fair. I'll take that. But I would also argue, in my defense, even a professional moving company would not be able to do that move. The only way that couch was going in the basement was if anything could be disassembled, which none of it could. Which is funny, because that's 2 7-feet couches in the same 7-week span that I could not successfully move. The other one was last week on Wednesday. It wouldn't even fit in the elevator. So I'm gonna just start asking, how big is the second couch? Because I don't want to charge, I'd rather just tell the client it's not gonna happen, other than, oh yeah, let's try it, And to my credit, to my helper's credit, we tried getting it. We couldn't even get into the hallway to move it to the staircase, and we couldn't even stand it up to try to mess with it to get it into the staircase. And even if we got it into the staircase, I honestly don't think it would have fit into the basement. So, like I said, even professionals, just some shit you can't force things, like those European plugs. You can't force an American, style plug into a European outlet. It's just not gonna work. Doesn't matter if you're a novice or an expert at whatever you're doing. It's just not gonna work. It's not. You can't force it sometimes, and if you do try to force it, you end up causing more damage to the surrounding environment. He said, I want to make sure I don't fuck up my walls, and we still managed to fuck up the walls a little bit, and we probably would have caused even more damage if we somehow managed to get into that staircase. So this is my first 4-star on TaskRabbit. I've got 2 3-stars, which were not earned. Fucking Karens. But this one, I'll accept a non 5-star for this one. I would have accepted a 1-star. It happens. It was no fault of my own that we could not get the couch down there, but it is what it is. So yeah, first 4-star on TaskRabbit, and I thought it was gonna be my first 1-star. So I've dodged a 1-star, and I live to fight another day. So that's all I got for this one, guys. I want to thank y'all for watching. Everyone, please stay safe, stay driven, stay healthy, stay classy. I'll talk to you next time.